Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, tomorrow is the big day. Weather report. It's raining out. Not a lot. I mean, it's a drizzly rain, but it's kind of been rainy off and on today, and it's raining again there. Some of you despise my weather reports. Others love it. It's like this. There's hardly anything in between. I either get, oh, those are horrible, stop doing them, I hate those, or, oh, I love it, keep it up. So, I don't know. Anyway, so tomorrow during the day, is the big day for our big monthly meeting. And I'm telling you, if it's all possible for you to attend, this is the one that you want to go to. Most everyone there is going to walk away with some free gold and silver. Real gold, real silver, okay? Yeah, giving it away. I mean, it's not coming out of my pocket, because if it was, you'd get one person would get a couple of little pieces of dust. But we've got some experts coming in, and they're going to be giving away some gold and silver. And we're not trying to sell you anything. It's not like I've had a lot of people, what is there, some kind of it's not multi-level marketing. It's not selling you. It's nothing like that. We're trying to start something, and it starts tomorrow, and it'll be moving throughout the state, many other seminars and stuff like this, of teaching Missourians and Missouri businesses how to use gold and silver. Like actually how to use it as money, because Missouri now has the best by far gold and silver legislation into law, making it possible for you as a business or you as an individual to use gold and silver in daily transactions, pay your bills, pay your taxes, all that kind of stuff. It's protected by Missouri law now. And so because it's been forever, a very long time since anyone has ever done that. I mean, no one's alive that's actually really, at least here in the United States, I can't think of anywhere else in the world either, that have actually used that system, the system that we used to have before this fiat currency came into effect. And so we're starting classes on how to do that. And it's a big deal. Several big experts are coming in from across the nation. And you're just not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a packed house. So please show up. I've got some more emails in today, I noticed, that I've got to respond to here shortly. But if you think you can make it, shoot me an email, and I'll give you the address and the details and stuff, because this is going to be it's a free event. We don't charge anything to come to our meetings. The meeting starts at 2, goes for about a couple of hours. I'll have the doors open around 11 or 12, and people bring a potluck. It's a little potluck meal beforehand. People eat and mingle and network and fellowship, and then we start the meeting. So a very family-friendly event. So try to make it if you can, because it's definitely not one to miss. So we're back on like economic news stuff, because this is important. It's kind of the linchpin, I guess you could say, to a lot of the things that's going on in the world, the wars and everything. I think they're very, very dependent and contingent upon what's going on economically and trade-wise around the world. So the president is saying that he is hoping to have a deal struck with China within the week. Now, we've heard things like this before over the last several months, so I'm not very confident that is what's going to happen, because also in the news, it's being reported that China has done exceptionally well during all of this trade war, that they're actually making money. It's benefiting them to do this, and that the rest of the world is coming to them for business, and that China has. And The Economist magazine has said this. That, remember, The Economist magazine was founded by the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds. So The Economist magazine has said that China has pretty much completed building its system, its economic system, that is outside of the U.S. dollar. That they don't need the U.S. dollar, they don't need U.S. currency, and so that their system can function outside of it. And all of these tariffs that the president has placed upon China, which China is not paying. If you believe that China is paying that stuff, you're believing a lie. Don't believe what President Trump says. It is not true. It is that his own people have said that the tariffs that he places on China are paid for by American companies, American importers, and then most of the time trickle down to the American people. Okay, so there's that. But anyways, it's hurting Americans. It's hurting America. It's not hurting China. China's doing good. So it's hard for me to believe that China is going to capitulate, to give in to anything of the president's demands on any kind of trade. So we'll see. It may be the other way around. It may be actually America begging for China to give in and end this, because it's hurting us, not them. The president added an additional 10% tariff on top of tariffs for Canada. He did this after he claims that Canada has released, or at least a province of Canada, after releasing a manipulated video of Ronald Reagan condemning tariffs. President Trump has said that this video is AI altered, and that Ronald Reagan never said anything against tariffs, that he loved tariffs. That is completely true. The video that the Canadian government, or the province of Canada, released is an edited video. They took an original video and kind of cut it and spliced it down because the original video was several minutes long and they used it for an advertisement. And it's Ronald Reagan talking about how bad tariffs are and that he is against them, and that he felt that was a major factor in the Great Depression and all that kind of stuff. And in fact, that video is not AI. Over a decade ago, the Reagan Library released that video. I believe that video was recorded in 1987. And you can go on YouTube, or you can go to the Reagan Library, and you can watch the full video of that. And in fact, Ronald Reagan does condemn tariffs, talk about how they stifle the economy and that just hurts American people because it's just a tax on the American people. So the president is either very mistaken, or I don't know. I don't know. But because of that, he says he's adding another 10% tariff onto Canadian goods. So it's, it keeps happening. Of course, what's going on in Venezuela seems to still be building. I don't know that there's been a dramatic change, other than, we've got our largest aircraft carrier is now on its way there. The president of Venezuela made a statement to the effect of, "Are you sure you want to do this, Donald Trump? You could potentially start another Vietnam," meaning that it would be something that we could get bogged down in there for a long time. So, but the president has said in the last few days that attacks on land in Venezuela are coming very, very soon. So that's his own words. So there's that. I wanted to talk some more because I think this is an important thing to talk about, because it's going to start affecting, it has already, but it's going to start dramatically affecting a lot of people. And that is the economy and the shutdown and the cutbacks and all this kind of stuff. Before I go any further, I want to preface it with this. I personally am very in favor of eliminating all federal funding for virtually everything. I believe the government that governs the best is the smallest, tiniest possible government possible. That the federal government should have very, very limited duties, and that the budget should reflect that. It should be very tiny. That being said, as I have stated many times in the past, if we made a transition from what we have to what I just spoke of, it would be catastrophic. It'd be devastating, because we have developed a system over generations now that is dependent, not just individuals, but institutions, local governments, businesses, everything is heavily dependent upon government and government funding. And so I have warned for years on this channel and in person that while I'm in favor of doing that, if those things, if that safety blanket was ripped out from underneath everything, it would be catastrophic. And while that safety blanket has not been ripped out of underneath everything, it is being pulled away. And I'm warning you, this is a warning, that if things do not change soon, we will start to see some catastrophic things happen. Food stamps, SNAP benefits are not expected to be, they're not going to be released for the month of November. So there are going to be millions of families that are not going to get them. And I know what you're saying. Well, they can go get a job, or they're just sucking off the government. And maybe some of them are, definitely some of them are. There's also a lot of disabled people. There's also a lot of senior citizens, a lot of working people that work, that are dependent upon those food benefits, and they're not going to get them. It's going to put them into a very hard bind. A lot of other government funding is not happening. A lot of people that work for the government, and not everyone that works for the government is bad, but a lot of people that work for the government, they're not getting paid. They're struggling. Now they're not going to get food stamps. They're still struggling. Everybody runs to food pantries. Well, they're struggling, and so there's not enough food. Food pantries are running out of food. People aren't donating food because it's expensive and everyone's hurting. When food pantries get cash donations and they have to go buy food themselves, it's expensive. So they're getting less food for their purchase. The programs that have existed in the past that food pantries and things like that can get federal funding or federal food, they've all closed up and they're gone. And I'm just speaking of one area, food. And it's going away quickly. And here in the next few weeks, there's going to be some really hard times for a lot of people, because they're going to have to buy their own food. They're not going to have any assistance, and they're not going to have the money to purchase the food and to pay their other bills. So things are going to start getting hard. And in my opinion, it's not really a matter anymore of whether that's what they get or deserve or not, because like I said, there's some good people out there, and it's we have created this system to cause all this dependency. And this is just, again, food stamps. There's lots of others. There's payroll checks. There's all types of other disability benefits and other benefits that are not getting had. Nonprofits that help people. The ones that you tell people, well, instead of going to the government, go to these, nonprofits that can help people, these charities. They're hurting too, because the vast majority of the money that comes into these charities are federal funds, grants, and they've stopped. They're done. They're not getting any money either. A lot of these charities, they're hurting too. People are getting laid off, staff members. They have no money in their accounts to help people pay their utility bill or their rent or their grocery or their doctor bills. And so, whether you like it or agree with it or not, the fact is that if nothing changes soon, this country is going to start seeing some really, really hard times for a lot of people. Yes, there is a certain part of our society that's making millions and tens of millions and billions off of what's going on. But there are others that are going to become very desperate. And it's quite possible that some of those people that are going to be desperate will take that desperation to the streets or will do other things. There's always that small segment of society that when put into a bad situation, they do really bad things. And so we have to be aware of that. And I just want you to be thinking about this and preparing for this, because there could be bad things happening. Also, I want you to remember that there's people in need, and as Bible believers and followers of Yeshua, even if we may not agree with the politics, I believe that we're obligated to help those in need as much as we can. So I would recommend that you donate, reach out to your local food pantries. charitable organizations in your area, churches and stuff that do that. And if they need help and you're able to do it, I would suggest you do it, because winter's coming on, colder weather's starting to creep in, utility bills are going up, food pantries are empty. I'm hearing and seeing reports of shelves on grocery stores are getting thin. Money's getting hard. It's getting worth less. People aren't getting paid for the job that they're forced pretty much to do to keep their job. A lot of things are happening, folks. A lot of things. And come November 1st, tariffs are going to go up more. So I know I'm painting a bleak picture right now, and it's because, well, it kind of is. And you should be definitely preparing for this, because I just don't think that most people have kind of wrapped their head around what's happening. And I've only mentioned just a portion of the stuff that's really going on. So get ready and get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. And if you can, try to help those that are in need around you, because it's always good to make sure that the people that live around you haven't hit that point of desperation just yet. All right, thank you all for watching. Catch you in the next video.